Resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. Have you ever pushed against a situation that just wouldn't change, making everything feel harder? For young adults navigating career uncertainty, resisting rejections can turn into overwhelming anxiety and self-doubt. Mid-career adults often fight work-life demands, leading to burnout and emotional imbalance. Mature adults might resist life's natural changes, missing out on contentment and legacy fulfillment. We all do it, thinking resistance protects us, but it usually amplifies stress, drains our energy, and blocks better paths. Doesn't that ring true? Today, we'll uncover the law of non-resistance. At the end, we'll explore the real success story of Mahatma Gandhi, a story that truly embodies the law discussed in this video. If this sparks something in you, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Official now to discover more profound lessons. Like the video if you're intrigued, and comment below with a time when resistance backfired. We're in this journey together.
Introduction to the law. Let's introduce the law of non-resistance. This universal principle teaches us to stop opposing life's challenges and instead accept and flow with them. It's not about giving up. It's a wise choice that saves energy, reduces stress, and allows solutions to emerge naturally. Why does it matter? It builds resilience, emotional intelligence, and a positive mindset, helping us thrive amid uncertainty and foster personal growth. Connect this to your daily life. Young adults aged 20 to 35 often resist career setbacks, leading to frustration and stagnation. Imagine viewing them as guides to better opportunities. Mid-career folks 35 to 50 push against overload, causing emotional wear. Non-resistance brings balanced decisions. Mature adults 50 to 80 resist transitions like aging, hindering peace. Embracing the law opens doors to contentment and meaningful legacies. We've all felt the pull of fighting reality. The essence of the law. The law of non-resistance is the practice of embracing life's flow without opposition, letting harmony and resolutions unfold on their own. Its power reaches into emotions, relationships, careers, and health, empowering individualism, achievement, and lasting resilience where force would only build walls. How the law operates. You know, we've touched on what the law of non-resistance is, but now let's really dive deep. How does this principle actually work in the world around us? It's not just some fluffy idea. It's grounded in logic, philosophy, and even psychology. We'll break it down step by step, so you can see it clearly and start applying it right away. Think of it as a friendly chat where we unpack the mechanics together. First, let's explore the logical foundation. This law has roots in ancient philosophies that emphasize harmony with the universe. Picture Taoism from ancient China, the concept of Wu Wei, which means effortless action or non-action. It's like water in a river. It doesn't fight the rocks. It flows around them, carving paths over time without force. Philosophically, resistance creates opposition, which breeds more conflict. Florence Scovel Shinn, a New Thought pioneer in the early 20th century, described it in her book, The Game of Life, as not pushing against circumstances, because what you resist persists. Scientifically, think about physics. Newton's third law says every action has an equal opposite reaction. When you resist something, you're applying force, and it pushes back just as hard. In nature, observe a tree in a storm. Rigid branches snap, but flexible ones bend and survive. This isn't weakness, it's intelligent adaptation. Psychologically, it ties into modern ideas like acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, where fighting unwanted thoughts or feelings amplifies them. Your brain's amygdala fires up in stress mode when you resist, releasing cortisol that clouds judgment. But non-resistance calms the nervous system, activating the parasympathetic response for clarity and healing. Now, how does this operate on a deeper level? The law functions by redirecting energy. When you resist, you're feeding attention to the obstacle, making it loom larger in your mind. It's like wrestling with quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Non-resistance, on the other hand, withdraws that energy, allowing the issue to lose power and dissolve naturally. Philosophers like Epictetus from Stoicism echoed this. It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. In society, look at non-violent movements. Resistance through force often escalates violence, but non-resistance disarms it. Psychologically, this aligns with cognitive dissonance. Resisting reality creates inner conflict, leading to anxiety or depression. But acceptance resolves that tension, freeing mental space for creative solutions. Let's pause for a moment. Take 5 seconds to think about a time when pushing back made a problem bigger. Got it? That's the law in action, or rather, the cost of ignoring it. Shifting to human application, how does this play out in your daily life? Start with relationship. You argue with a partner over something small, resisting their viewpoint. Tensions rise, words escalate, and suddenly it's a full-blown fight. But apply non-resistance. Accept their perspective without agreeing, respond calmly, and watch the energy shift. The conflict often fizzles out, leading to understanding. For young adults in their 20s or 30s, think about career hurdles. You're resisting a job rejection, replaying "why me?" in your head. That mental loop builds resentment, blocking new opportunities. Instead, non-resist. Acknowledge the setback, say, "Okay, what's next?" and flow toward networking or skill building. It builds resilience, turning uncertainty into growth. We all know that feeling of job hunting fatigue. Non-resistance refreshes you, like letting go of a heavy backpack. In emotions and mindset, it's powerful too. Feeling anxious about the future? Resisting it with "this shouldn't be happening" fuels the worry cycle. Psychology shows this. Rumination, or repetitive negative thinking, worsens mental health. Non-resistance means observing the emotion without judgment, like mindfulness meditation teaches. Say to yourself, "This anxiety is here, but I don't have to fight it." It passes quicker, leaving room for positive affirmations and a growth mindset. For mid-career adults balancing work and family, resisting overload, like forcing through a packed schedule, leads to burnout. Flow with it. Accept limits, prioritize gently, and suddenly you find work-life harmony. Imagine the relief, less guilt, more presence with loved ones. And in work scenarios, it's a game changer. Picture a team conflict. Resisting a colleague's idea stiffens the room, stifling collaboration. Non-resist. Listen openly, integrate what's useful, and ideas evolve naturally. This fosters emotional intelligence, key for leadership. For mature adults reflecting on legacy, resisting past regrets keeps you stuck in what-ifs. Embrace non-resistance. Accept the journey, focus on now, and contentment blooms, allowing you to mentor others with wisdom. Here's a mini challenge. Next time you feel resistance bubbling up, at work or home, stop and ask, "What if I let this flow?" Try it this week and see the shift. Overall, the law of non-resistance operates like an invisible current. It uses philosophy's wisdom, nature's examples, and psychology's insights to show that force creates barriers, while acceptance opens doors. It's about individualism, trusting your inner strength to adapt, not dominate. This builds achievement through smart energy use, and resilience by bending without breaking. We've seen how it works logically and practically. Now imagine weaving this into your life. Could transform those pain points into stepping stones. Real-world applications and impact. Building on that deep dive, let's get practical. How does the law of non-resistance show up in real life, and what impact does it have? We'll look at key areas it influences, compare those who apply it versus those who don't, and share some everyday examples, especially from American life, where hustle culture often pushes resistance. This isn't theory. It's actionable wisdom to boost your resilience, achievement, and peace. First, in work and career. America's fast-paced job market rewards go-getters, but constant resistance to setbacks can derail you. Those who ignore the law, push against deadlines, micromanage teams, or fight market changes. ending up stressed, unproductive, and prone to quitting. Compare that to appliers. They accept delays as signals to adjust, flowing into innovative solutions. For young adults facing career uncertainty, resisting layoffs might lead to bitterness and job hopping. Non-resistance helps pivot to new fields with clarity, building a resilient path to success. In U.S. corporate scenes, think of tech workers during economic dips, like the 2023 layoff. Resistors sued or ranted online, prolonging pain. Non-resistors upskilled quietly, landing better roles. The impact? Appliers achieve more with less effort, enjoying promotions and work satisfaction. Now, relationships, another big area. Resisting differences, like in arguments or family dynamics, creates rift. Ignorers hold grudges, leading to isolation or divorce. Common in busy American households where work stress spills over. Appliers accept flaws, respond with empathy, and nurture bonds. For mid-career adults seeking work-life balance, resisting a spouse's needs might cause resentment. Non-resistance means compromising fluidly, strengthening emotional intelligence and family ties. Picture holiday gatherings. Resisting in-laws' opinions escalates drama. Flowing with it brings harmony. The result? Deeper connections, less conflict, and a support system for personal growth. Health and emotions get a huge boost too. In a nation where mental health challenges affect millions. Think anxiety from social media or depression in older age. Resistance worsens symptoms. Ignorers fight illness with denial, delaying recovery, and spiking stress hormones. Appliers accept the body's signals, like during a flu, resting without frustration for faster healing. Psychologically, it's linked to mindfulness practices popular in the US, like apps such as Headspace. For mature adults building legacies, resisting health declines steals joy. Non-resistance fosters contentment, allowing focus on meaningful activities. Emotional impact. Less overwhelm, more positivity. Overcoming negative thoughts becomes easier, cultivating a growth mindset. Spirituality ties in naturally, especially for those seeking deeper purpose. Resisting life's mysteries leads to doubt and disconnection. Appliers find peace in surrender, aligning with universal laws for inspiration. In American culture, with diverse faiths, this echoes practices like yoga or prayer. Non-resistance deepens faith, reducing spiritual burnout. Let's build some resonance here. If you're a young adult, imagine applying this to dating apps. Resisting ghosting breeds cynicism. Flowing opens you to real connections. Mid-career? In traffic jams, a daily U.S. phenomenon, resisting with road rage raises blood pressure. Non-resistance with podcasts turns waits into growth time. For mature folks, resisting retirement boredom leads to regret. Embracing it uncovers hobbies and legacy projects. Who here has tried non-resistance in a tough spot? Drop a mental poll. Raise your hand if resisting ever backfired. Most of us, right? Now, envision the freedom of letting go. Comparing overall, ignorers face chronic stress, stalled progress, and emotional drain, missing out on happiness. Appliers embody resilience, achieving goals through ease, and living with individualism, owning their path without force. In U.S. society, where self-made success is prized, this law amplifies it. Think entrepreneurs who pivot during failures versus those who crash. The impact is profound. Healthier bodies, stronger minds, fulfilling lives. It equips you to overcome challenges, find purpose, and become that kind, insightful person we all aspire to be. Let's carry this forward. It's your key to a peaceful, empowered existence. Story of a great individual. Now, let's bring this law to life with a real story from someone who embodied it profoundly, Mahatma Gandhi, the leader of India's independence movement in the 20th century. Born in 1869 in British-ruled India, Gandhi grew up in a modest family, studied law in England, and later worked in South Africa. There, he faced deep racial discrimination as an Indian immigrant. Imagine arriving full of hope, only to be thrown off a first-class train for your skin color, or beaten for refusing to give up your seat. These weren't just insults, they were systemic oppression under colonial laws that stripped people of dignity. Gandhi could have resisted with anger, violence, or bitterness, like many did, fueling endless cycles of retaliation. But here's where the law of non-resistance shines. Gandhi developed his philosophy of satyagraha, which means truth force or non-violent non-cooperation. It wasn't passive, it was active non-resistance. He understood that fighting violence with violence only strengthened the oppressor. Instead, he accepted the blows without striking back, flowing with the injustice to expose its ugliness. In South Africa, during protests against discriminatory laws, he and his followers marched peacefully, enduring arrests, beatings, and imprisonment without retaliation. Back in India by 1915, facing British colonial rule that exploited millions through taxes, famines, and suppression, Gandhi applied this on a massive scale. The Salt March of 1930 is a perfect example. Resisting the salt tax monopoly, he led thousands on a 240-mile walk to the sea, making salt in defiance, but without violence. When police charged with batons, his followers didn't fight. They advanced peacefully, taking the hits. This non-resistance disarmed the authorities morally, turning global opinion against Britain. Even unconsciously at times, Gandhi lived this law through his personal discipline. He fasted during crises, not as protest, but to purify his own resistance to ego or anger, allowing clarity to emerge. Challenges piled up. Multiple imprisonments, communal riots, assassination attempts. Yet, he never wavered from non-resistance, saying, "An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind." The results? India gained independence in 1947 without a bloody war, inspiring civil rights movements worldwide, like Martin Luther King Jr.'s. Gandhi's achievements built a legacy of peace, proving non-resistance leads to monumental change. The lesson? By not opposing force directly, you harness a greater power, truth and moral strength, that overcomes even empires. For our young adults dealing with career hurdles, Gandhi's story shows accepting rejections can redirect you to greater purpose. Mid-career folks, it highlights flowing with conflicts for balanced leadership. Mature adults, it's about legacy through peaceful resilience. We can all draw from this. Non-resistance isn't weakness, it's strategic wisdom. This leads us to the core message that ties it all together. Timeless wisdom, the core message in the grand tapestry of existence, the law of non-resistance whispers a profound truth. True power arises not from clashing with the winds of fate, but from bending like the willow, allowing storms to pass while your roots grow deeper. This essence reminds us that acceptance is the gateway to transformation, turning obstacles into allies and inner turmoil into serene strength. Embrace it and watch life unfold with effortless grace, fostering the resilience and individualism needed to craft a meaningful journey. Take a moment with me now. Let's reflect on how the law of non-resistance might already be at play in your life, or where it could make a difference. Pause for 10 seconds and think. When was the last time you resisted a change at work or home, and how did that feel? Pause 10 seconds. Did it drain you or create more obstacles? Now, imagine applying non-resistance there. What small step could you take to flow instead? For you young adults in your 20s or 30s, wrestling with career uncertainty, how often do you push against failures, letting them build self-doubt? Reflect. Could accepting them as lessons bring clarity and open new doors? Mid-career friends balancing everything. Where are you resisting demands that lead to burnout? Ask yourself, what if you prioritized with ease, fostering emotional intelligence? And for our mature viewers seeking legacy and contentment, do you resist past regrets or aging, holding back peace? Ponder how letting go could free you to build meaningful connections. We all have these moments. Observe your daily routines through this lens. Notice resistance in traffic, arguments, or worries. What patterns emerge? Here's a gentle challenge. Over the next day, pick one area and practice non-resistance. Journal how it shifts your energy. You're capable of this. It's about building that positive mindset we share in our community. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of the law of non-resistance. It's been a joy sharing these insights with you, and I truly appreciate the time you've invested in your personal growth. May this principle bring you the peace and resilience to flow through life's challenges with grace, turning potential struggles into opportunities for a happier, more fulfilled existence. If you've found value here, I invite you to check out our other videos on timeless laws, like the law of attraction or lessons on building a growth mindset. They're designed to inspire and equip you just like this one. Stick around. We've got more coming to help you develop that wisdom and strength. As a soft nudge, if this resonated, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Official for weekly doses of inspiration. Share this with someone who might need it, perhaps a friend facing their own resistances. And drop a comment below. How will you apply non-resistance this week? We'd love to hear and build this community together. Until next time, take care and embrace the flow.